Real truth daily. This is Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Truths. This morning I was at a grocery store and I was going through the checkout line and I bagged my stuff and I was walking out and all of a sudden I heard this voice say, "Thanks for coming in." And have you ever had that where you're walking out and you hear this voice, somebody's thanking you for coming in and you don't know where it's coming from? I looked to the right, I looked to the left, I looked over here, I looked over there. Finally, I looked straight ahead and behind the service desk was this tiny little lady who barely had her head sticking up above the counter, and that's where the voice came from. That's where the voice came from. Sometimes we hear people say, well, God told me this or God told me that, apart from the Word of God. And there's a couple questions I have about that. Number one, how do you know it's the voice of God? And if you do hear voices, how do you know it's coming from Him? It could be another voice. It could be the voice of the evil one, especially when we say we hear voices and they're telling us to do things that are contradictory to the Word of God. Now, we know that the Word of God, the Bible, is true. That's what Jesus said. He said in his high priestly prayer, "Your word is truth. Sanctify them in the truth." So if God speaks truth to us through the Word, we can have consistent reliability that when we read the Word, hear the Word, listen to the Word, we know that it's God through his apostles, prophets, and evangelists speaking to us. I think it's dangerous anytime we say, God told me this or God told me that, because you really don't know, A, if it's a voice of God, and you really don't know where it's coming from. When I was in that grocery store, it took me a while to figure out where did that voice come from. I'm sure you've had that too. You know, you're ready, you're thinking about something else and you're ready to leave and you have your eyes set on the door and all of a sudden you hear this voice saying, "Thank you for coming in." And you wonder, where in the world did that come from? Well, we can say the same thing when we say, we hear voices, we hear the voice of God. We hear voices that tells us what to do. I think that's frightening. And I think the best thing we can do is when we want to make a decision, we turn to the Word of God. We turn to godly friends who can speak the Word of God into our life. And that's the best advice I can give you regarding hearing from God. All right? So that is today's Daily Truth. Continue to stay in the Word. Continue to watch DT. I love doing these videos. I hope you're enjoying it. God bless you and have a great day in Jesus Christ.
Thank you for tuning in to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman. Pastor Dave Ahlman is the pastor of Mount Hope Church in Boulder, Colorado. If this ministry is blessing you, please consider supporting us by sharing this channel with a friend. You can also like, comment, subscribe, or leave a review. This helps us tremendously. Come back tomorrow for your next Daily Truth.